Welcome back to another episode of the Law of Attraction for Writers podcast. This is where we explore how to align your mindset, energy, and habits with the writing life you want. Now, I'm Suzanne Lowrance of WriteByTheSea.com and an author and Law of Attraction coach for writers.
And I'm Simon Rose, author of numerous middle grade and young adult novels, as well as many non-fiction books, and also a coach for writers.
And in our last episode, we talked about your creative frequency and how to set it on purpose so you can write in the vibe of what you want. So today we're talking about something that works hand in hand with that, and that's clarity. Now, clarity is magnetic. The more specific you are about what you want, the faster the universe can line it up for you. Now, if you're vague, your results will be vague too. So here's how it works. Imagine you're walking into a coffee shop and you tell the barista, just bring me something good. Well, they might bring you a caramel latte, but maybe you hate caramel lattes. It's not that they weren't willing to serve you, it's that you didn't tell them what you wanted. Now, the law of attraction works the same way. If you say, I want to write more, that's as vague as I want something good. Do you mean by more, you want to write a novel, you want to write a short story, you want to write blog posts? And what does more mean anyway? Without specifics, the universe has nothing clear to respond to. When you know exactly what you want to create and why you want to create it, it's like giving a direct, detailed order. That clarity pulls in the right ideas, connections, and opportunities. So I'm curious, Simon, how clear do you get about what you want to write each time you sit down to get a little work done?
Well, it depends on what I'm working on, really. For example, a current novel project with which I'm almost at the end needs some description, adding in a view that the main characters have from a mountainside. I did some research into locations in the Alps in Europe and made a few notes, which I'll then use to create the descriptions. And I agree here with what you say about not being vague. With the current project, I tell myself that I want to work on a specific aspect of it. With a couple of other projects that are in the early stages, writing something more would probably involve expanding the outline I have at the moment, or even creating one.
Okay. I like that idea of expanding an outline or doing certain aspects of a project. That's giving clarity. So let's give our listeners a practical writing tip. It's called a clarity map. One of the easiest ways to get clear is to make a one-page clarity map for your current or next writing projects. So here's what you're going to include in your clarity map. There are 6 things. You want to put the title or working title of your project, a one-sentence purpose. Why are you writing this? What's the main goal? The audience. Who's it for? Now be as specific as possible about who you're writing it for. The tone and style. Will it be light and funny or serious and informative? The scope. Is it a short story you're working on, a 300-page novel, or maybe a 5-part blog series? And then finally, the deadline. When will you have a first draft or finished piece? Now, when you put all this on paper, you have a clear destination. And when you keep it visible on your desk or pinned to a vision board, it keeps you focused and in alignment with your goal every time you sit down to write. And by the way, if you'd like a printout of what to include in your clarity map and you're a Morning Nudge subscriber, you can get one in our free private resource library for writers at WriteByTheSea.com. So if you aren't already a Morning Nudge subscriber, just get your free subscription at morningnudge.com, and then you'll get an email with a link to the library and the current password. You'll also get a little email from me every weekday morning with some writing tips. So Simon, what kind of resources do you have available for subscribers and people who look at your site?
Well, I feature tips and advice for writers in the Children's Writer's Guide and also in the Children's Writer's Guide 2. And there are excerpts that appear regularly from these on the blog at Write by the Sea. There are also excerpts from my book about writing time travel stories and writing about historical fiction in the Time Traveler's Guide.
Super.
And there's also a newsletter that comes out once a month that people can subscribe to at my website, which is simon-rose.com.
Cool. Okay. And they can get the Children's Writer's Guide and the Children's Writer's Guide 2 and that time travel guide at Amazon, I'm assuming, right?
Oh, yes, all the usual places.
Okay, super. All right, so here's something for people to try this week. If you're listening today, create a clarity map for your current writing project. Don't overthink it, just answer the 6 questions I gave you. And then notice how much easier it is to stay focused and in flow when you know exactly what you're writing into. So that's it for today's episode of the Law of Attraction for Writers podcast. Next time, we'll explore how to act as if. That means stepping into the version of you who already has the writing life you dream about and making decisions from that place starting right now. Until then, keep your vision clear and your words flowing. So have a great week, Simon. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much for inviting me to be here.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.